How you doing? So these are the top 5 best champion in MCOC Incursion. So first, I'm going to rate it as if you're only going to go to zone 25. Then I'll rate it if you go past zone 25 in Incursion. So number 5 is Thing. I do believe Thing is underrated, especially in Incursion. He's really good when you go past zone 15 in sector 6 because he starts triggering his protection. I believe if Thing can only trigger his protection every time he gets hit, that he'll be the best champion in MCOC. But it's only really possible in Incursion because their attack is so high, you know. So when it comes to Thing's signature ability, he takes 80% reduced damage at max sig when he triggers his protection, and it goes up to 100% reduced damage. So this is also good if you're running recall masteries when you have liquid courage on that end up healing from liquid courage as well. So I do believe Thing is underrated when it comes to Incursion. So number 4 is Aegon. Aegon, when he's fully ramped up, I said this before, without synergy, Aegon fully ramped up is the best champion in MCOC. And also when it comes to Incursion, I put him at number 4 if you only want to go to zone 25. I do think that it does take time for Aegon to ramp up. That's why he's only number 4 on the list. But if you have Aegon at max sig, when you have him all the way in sector 6, which is currently the highest level in Incursion, that it'll take less than zone 25 to have him fully ramped up. But if you haven't seen any gameplay when it comes to Aegon, you should check it out in Incursion. He's really good for Incursion, especially when he's fully ramped up. He's beating opponents within seconds, like millions of health pulls within seconds. So number 3 and number 2 is actually debatable. Number 3, I'm going to put Hela. If you're only doing sector 6 to zone 25, thing with Hela, she does need to ramp up with Odin synergy, and it's really very skillful gameplay if you can do it with her. I've only seen it a couple of times with me. I've done it with Hela when it goes past zone 25. I also seen Jin Mori. I will send you a link to the description, taking out champions from sector 6 zone 25, which is the highest level currently in Incursion. He used Hela, a 6-star rank 4 Hela in Incursion, and this is crazy part is he didn't even use he did use Odin, but he didn't use Heimdall. Heimdall, besides Odin, is like his best synergies to Incursion because they increase buff duration, and he didn't even use Heimdall. From zone 23 to zone 25, he soloed pretty much every fight using a 6-star rank 4 Hela without the Heimdall synergy. So I think it's debatable when it comes to number 2 and number 3, whether it's Hercules or Hela, but I would say Hela's number 3 because it takes very skilled gameplay, as well as it takes time for Hela to ramp up as well. So you're gonna have a hard time in the earlier zones with Hela. When it comes to Hercules, you do need to ramp up Hercules, but not as much as Hela. I think about sector 3, it's good enough for Hercules to have 12 persistent charge, have him as a herald, as well as having the Odin free fight. So it doesn't take very long for Hercules to be fully ramped up. That's why I have Hercules at number 2 when it comes to Incursion. You've probably seen enough Hercules gameplay when it comes to Incursion. He's really good. So I think that's enough said for Incursion when it comes to Hercules, especially when you have him with his immortality, you have the right hacks, he's gonna do a lot of damage. And number 1, I think it's pretty obvious. Angela is the best champion in Incursion. She's just silly, dude. When it comes to Incursion, I don't even know what to say. There's really not much word to say. If you haven't seen Angela gameplay, I have a few of them. So as other YouTubers. They're beating opponents within like 10 hits or with one special one. It's just ridiculous. She does so much damage, it's not even funny. Yeah, what can you say? So this is top 5 best champion in Incursion if you only want to go to zone 25. So let me just say another rating if you want to go past zone 25. So number 5 on the list is Hercules. Hercules is only number 5 on the list when it comes to passing zone 25 because once the helpo gets really large, he just can't handle it when it comes to his mortality, since his mortality can only last so long. Number 4 on the list is Aegon. I do think when Aegon's fully ramped up, when you go past zone 25, he's better than Hercules. You've probably seen Aegon take on Abyss Collector, which I believe is still the hardest fight to solo in MCOC, with 4.5 million health, I believe. So when you use Aegon, he's just a beast. Even Helpo almost practically doesn't matter because he does so much damage, and he's able to reduce opponent's attack by only at maximum at 5% when he triggers his something. I don't remember exactly what it's called. And number 3 on the list is Thing. I do think Thing will become more valuable once you get past zone 25 because he's triggering his protection all the time, which becomes very, very valuable in Incursion when he's able to reduce damage from opponent's attack. And number 2 on the list, I'm actually debating who's number 1 and number 2 when you pass zone 25. I still think number 2 is Hela. Let's say you go to zone 50. It really depends. Let's say you're in zone 50, sector 6. Can Hela beat opponents with her indestructibility just based on her indestructibility? That's a good question. I've taken down opponents with 5.7 million health in less than a minute using a 5-star Hela. Okay, so if you were using a 6-star rank 5 extension Hela, in sector 6, it's possible. And something I didn't mention is when I took down opponent 5.7 million health in less than a minute using 5-star Hela, that's without nodes. I mean, 6-star rank 5 extension Hela, 5.7 million health without nodes would be piece of cake for her. Okay, but with nodes that could be problematic. So when you get to zone 50 with Hela, with Odin synergy, he pretty much has about 1 minute of indestructibility. Can you take down opponent 5.7 million health in 1 minute with Hela with nodes? I don't know. That's gonna be really tough. I mean, it does. If you have the Heimdall synergy, that's an extra 17 seconds. So you have enough time to ramp her up with her unstoppable. So it's possible. I think it's definitely possible, but it's not going to be easy. So that's why I think Angela is still number 1 when it comes to Incursion past zone 25, because it doesn't even really matter what zone you are in Incursion, as long as you have hacks. All you really need is like the armor break hack, what's really, to be more precise, keep it going hack, because the higher the health opponent is, it's correlated to their attack. So because once going higher in Incursion, they increase their health, they also increase their attack. So what that means is when it comes to keep it going hack, is it's 60% potency when it comes to armor break in terms of their attack. So the higher the attack the opponent has, the higher the potency of the armor break, meaning more damage. Also, when it comes to Angela, the more fights you win, the higher the higher her damage is. So really, it doesn't matter the opponent's health, 5 million health, 10 million health. Angela will be able to beat it in under a minute, unless they have some kind of node where it reduces Angela's damage. So this is my top 5 best champion in Incursion. Let me know who's your top 5 best champion in Incursion. Thank you.